Hello, I'm Jordan and you're not, and this is my review on Dark Shadows: The Beginning Collection 1. So, back in May, I saw the Dark Shadows movie with Johnny Depp as Barnabas Collins, directed by Tim Burton, and I really liked it. And, you know, I had never really watched the series, and after I saw the movie, I was really interested in seeing them. So, originally I was going to buy the $400 version, but yeah, that didn't go so well. So I figured I'd just buy them individually, just to kind of make sure I do like them. So this is actually my first time reviewing a TV series, so bear with me. So I spent the past few days of watching these 35 episodes came in this one, and it was aired, June 27th, 1966. So let's talk about the story. This is way before Barnabas Collins enters Collinwood. There is no vampires or hardly anything supernatural at all this season, or these episodes. It's about Victoria Winters coming to Collinwood to be a governess or a tutor to David Collins. We'll get to him later. So the Collins family is like the rich family that lives on top of Widow's Hill. They're so snobby, yes. Roger Collins is the father of David Collins. Roger talks like this, you see, because he's rich and snobby, and he has an English accent, yes. And if you put a blonde wig on him, he'd look like Glenn Close. Yep. Okay, so Victoria Winters is an orphan. We don't know, she doesn't know who she is or who her parents are, so she was raised in an orphanage. And so out of the blue, she gets a letter from the Collinwood asking her to come and be this governess to this kid. So she goes, and on the same train, there's this guy named Burke Devlin, played by Mitchell Ryan. Mitchell Ryan is Dr. Wind from Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. One of the worst of the Halloween movies. Well, actually, it's not really that bad. Halloween 5 is the worst because it's so boring. But this isn't about Halloween right now. But, you know, I'm always open to talk about Halloween. So we'll talk about Halloween later, because Halloween's awesome. Okay, so he's also in Liar Liar with Jim Carrey. You know, Mitchell Ryan. But okay, let's get back to Dark Shadows. So yeah, Victoria Winters arrives, and she has no idea who she is, and she meets the Collins family. There's Elizabeth Collins Stoddard, who's the matriarch, or like the kind of the lead, or the queen, or I don't know, like who runs, you know, Collinwood, or their business or whatever. And she's pretty strict. Well, she's not that strict. She's just, you know, she's very by the books. I don't know how to explain her. And then Roger Collins, Roger is her brother, their brother and sister, and he's very snobby. He doesn't like anything at all. Yeah, but he's actually one of the best characters. He's very interesting. You know, so I mean, I don't know. He's kind of, there's something about him that, you know, I kind of like. And Victoria Winters, well, I mean, she's an okay character. We just need to, hopefully, we'll figure out who she is and how she came there. She got this letter when she was a kid. You know, her name is Victoria Winters. I cannot, you know, take care of her at this time or something. So then there's Carolyn Collins Stoddard, which is Elizabeth's daughter. She's kind of like a rebellious teen. In the movie, she was played by Chloe Moretz. I don't know how to say her name, her last name.
Yeah,
but someone's outside my door. Yeah, there's a lot of supernatural elements. There's some supernatural elements in this series. Like there's like very vague mentions of like ghosts being there at Collinwood. Like there's no you know, werewolf or no thing. Episode 30, there was something that really scared me. There's like some shadow of a man just standing there, and it was really creepy because I had a dream like that once where there was like a man just standing there in my doorway. David Collins, he's the son of Roger Collins. I hate David Collins. He's obnoxious, he's annoying, he's a little brat, and I hate him. And there's this character named, Burke Devlin is played by Mitchell Ryan. He comes back to Collinwood. He's very interesting too, because he's very mysterious and we don't know too much about him. All we know is that there's something that happened between him and Roger Collins and Maggie Evans' father, Sam, like 10 years prior to the start of this show. And there's something about a manslaughter case and that Roger Collins sent Burke Devlin to prison for. So we don't know if Burke did it or not. So Roger automatically assumes that Burke has come back for revenge. And he's always, asking people information about the Collins family. But he's very, he's charming actually. But he's very smooth. Oh yes, how do you do? Yeah, I like to buy a cup of coffee. And it seems like every other episode, people are drinking coffee or having like a sandwich or having like a ham on rye or a hamburger or something. And so Maggie Evans is the daughter of Sam Evans. Sam's an alcoholic artist, and Maggie works at the diner, this little cheap, 2-cent coffee diner shop in this hotel. She's okay. She's kind of interesting. Hopefully we'll get to know more about her. And David Collins. He makes me want to rip my hair out. I can clone myself. Alright, so there's episode 15, there's a car crash. Well, Burke asks Roger to meet him at the Blue Whale, this restaurant in Collinsport. Right. Collinsport is the town. Collinwood is the mansion or the old house, whatever it's called. And Roger's in a car wreck, and they automatically assume that Burke did it. But later you find out it wasn't Burke. It was someone else. So yeah, I couldn't stop watching. I just had to keep going. Like last night, I stayed up till like 11 o'clock this morning watching Dark Shadows, and I woke up at like 5 in the afternoon. I got like 4 or 5 hours of sleep because I just couldn't stop watching Dark Shadows. It's so addicting. Oh, it's an adrenaline rush. Wish I had a cigarette so I can burn my arm. So, in all, I would give this series, this episodes 1 through 35, maybe an A- or B+. The only thing, I hate David Collins. He's just so annoying. He's always, I just can't explain it. I mean, he's like in the movie of Dark Shadows, he's not that bad. I thought he was okay in the movie. Like, there's a scene where this disco ball is about to crush him, and Barnabas Collins saves him. And then, in this series, there's like a disco ball, and Barnabas Collins was, if there's like a disco ball about to crush David, I'd say crush him, because there's a scene where, like, I was cheering that he was about to get in trouble for something he did do, and then they let it go. They just, brush it off, like, oh, no big deal. He tried to kill his father, no big deal. We'll get past it somehow. And I just want to slap him. I hope something bad happens to him later in the series. So, I'm already on Collection 2, which is right here, the beginning Collection 2. So I got 1 through 36 down, and I got about 1,200 and some odd episodes left. That's not too many. I guess that's all about I need to say. And I love how each episode, like some episodes take place right after the previous episode. Like it might be at nighttime, and like it's like 24 or True Blood or something. It takes place right after it. I love that. This is gonna be my soap opera. It's gonna be my story. Yes. So really, since Barnabas Collins isn't in this season, it's really interesting. So give it a try. Don't knock it just because Barnabas is not in it. It really is interesting just to know what this guy Burke Devlin is up to and what he's going to do to the Collins family. So yes, please give Dark Shadows the beginning a try. And if you're going to try to buy the $450 series, good luck. So I'm just going to buy them all separately and have my, like a little library of just kind of, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like, in all there's like 32 collections. So I've ordered 7 in all, I believe. And hopefully I'll review collection 2 when I'm done with that one. And I hope you like my first review of a television series. Thank you. I don't know if you've seen my Dark Shadows poster yet. Here it is up there. Barnabas. Yeah, I guess hopefully you can see that. I know it's really dark and I apologize. It's dark in my room.